Hi everyone who wants to chill and talk about stuff. My name is Alex Freezeman and I've watched Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, a new anime adaptation by Netflix. This is sort of a rambling review about it. So, let's start with the story about me personally, how I got introduced to Scott Pilgrim. I think, like many others, it was obviously through the movie directed by Edgar Wright, and it's a pretty well known. It bombed, like it failed in the cinemas, but later it was rediscovered as a gem of nerd and uh, geek gaming culture, etc. Yeah, it was actually it's a great movie, well directed, and performances there are also very good. Um, After that, I got curious and actually um, I've read the comic series about Scott Pilgrim, the whole story actually, and now actually me and Yuki are rereading it. I actually that's the funny part. I got to a point that I actually have a Scott Pilgrim collector's edition. It's on Russian, of course, because I got it in Russia, because that's where I live, obviously. But this is a rare edition that just compresses all 6 volumes into 3 big books, and it's pretty neat. It's pretty. It's cool. It's I don't know. I love it. It's actually really stylish, and it's also it was originally black and white, like manga, right? Like shonen manga. Here's the second one. But like right now, it's in color over here. Oh, okay. I don't want to open anything spoilery, so I'll unlock. I'll open a page from the first book, just one of the first pages. That's not really spoilery. Well, yeah. As you can see, it's in color. So yeah, so I might be a bit of a nerd when we're talking about Scott Pilgrim, but like not to the point of complete obsession. It's just I just saw it, the pre-order for this thing, and I thought, well, why not? Anyway, what about anime? It was an unexpected thing, for sure, but when it got announced, it was really exciting, and to hear that actually the cast of the movie would be coming back and Edgar Wright will be coming back as the producer. And I think the creator, Brian Lee O'Malley, is actually like one of the writers also on this series, which is huge and exciting. It was great to hear. It was everyone was waiting, right? I think it's fair to say that everyone thought that it would be a faithful adaptation of the comics, right? And surprise, surprise, the end of episode 1, spoilers, kills off Scott. Well, wow, right? But before I continue, I just want to say that I love the anime opening of this series, of this season. I don't know if they will change. I guess they will if they make a season 2. But for season 1, for the Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, it's actually like I loved the opening. So the band that's singing the song for the opening is called Necry Talkie, and before that, I've been listening to their songs actually. I've been listening to them and watching their clips. I love their energy, by the way. They're really like the sex bomb of real life of Japan. They feel like a band of like friends just making music together. And I've been watching their clips and listening to their songs since I think like since they did a first take video with Kanabun. I wouldn't expect myself to be a fan of Japanese music and Japanese pop music, but like pop rock music. But I'm so glad that they finally got their opening song. And just recently, there was like literally before I started recording this video, they premiered a video, a music video for that song. Scott Pilgrim opening song, and it's also fantastic. But yeah, I digress. I'm really happy for them, and to continue the praises of the anime, the animation and the style they went with was really like an eye candy, I think. The style is great. I'm glad they took the original style and like even polished it a little bit. The characters look like them. You recognize every character you see, and even the blur effect that they had, like when something is like out of focus, it's like, I don't know, it's dilating in a way. I don't know how to explain, but if you've seen the anime, well, you know what I'm talking about. The 3D that was integrated was pretty smooth. Excuse me. The fight scenes and pixel art were also pretty great. I really did love it, I think. The songs and soundtrack of the anime was really great to hear. Was really exciting to hear the song that the Clash at Demon Head was playing in the movie, and a few originals even. And I think the composers of the anime, they really went out of the way. That was great. Also, I think one of the composers that was in the opening credits and really much a popular figure is Anama Naguchi. Oh geez, that's a mouthful. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. But yeah, this creator also was doing songs for Hatsune Miku actually back in the day, from what I've heard, which is just, I guess, fitting to the entire situation. Like I said before, everyone thought it would be a full comic adaptation, and the first episode kind of sort of like adapts stuff but misses a few crucial points in my opinion. Maybe because of the way that this anime, well, started and just wanted to condense all the setup to one episode. They missed a lot of, well, pretty cool and funny stuff. Like, I don't know, the funny bit where Ramona just says what kinds of tea she has on a date with Scott. Like a whole list of tea names, which was in the comic and was adapted in the movie. It wasn't here. Like, I know it's a waste of time and hard to adapt in an anime form, I guess, but I don't know. It was pretty sad to see it go. Like, they changed Pac-Man into Pac-Man pickup line into Sonic pickup line, but that's to, I guess, to foreshadow the two Scots situation. Also, I didn't get enough of Scott and Wallace dynamic because, well, they were kind of like, I don't know, they had such cool like chemistry and banter between each other. I don't know. Also, they didn't call Matthew Patel a pirate. But like, okay, these are just nitpicks for sure. These are just nitpicks. Also about characters to nitpick, I don't think Envy was really herself. As much as a self-centered diva person she is, I wouldn't think she would just come to Scott's funeral and make it all about her, sing a song there. I don't know, maybe she would do that. It's not up to me to decide, of course, but I don't know. And Wallace seemed like he didn't even give two fucks about Scott when he died, which is, maybe he wouldn't, but maybe he would. He would care in any way to just, I don't know, to be at least just a little bit sad. I don't know. Okay, like I said, nitpicks. Don't judge me with these nitpicks. These are just a few examples what I didn't really like, and like when it just continues on with this after the end of episode 1, you feel like you don't understand what's going on, and like, are they gonna undo it? Are they gonna just do it completely differently. But then, at least I, with time, kind of got adjusted to it, and I've seen some positives that I also want to mention. So I think previously underdeveloped characters are given more light in this. That includes all the exes of Ramonas, of course, which are now given character, funny enough. They buffed the fuck out of Matthew Patel, who was supposed to be the weakest of them all, and now he, like, in the second episode, he just beats up the supposed big bad of all the exes, Gideon, just and he becomes the CEO. And like, what is great, this anime is great at subverting expectations, that's for sure. And they're given characters. They given a background to Roxy, the Ramona's ex-girlfriend, and they're given more interesting stuff to do with Lucas Lee and Todd. I mean, they kind of overlooked twins in my opinion, but even Gideon, like, he's more nuanced character. He's a loser, but like, he doesn't want everyone to know he's a loser. So he pretends to be like big and successful CEO, but then he becomes that evil guy again. So yeah, well, it's great, I think. Also, I really loved what they did with Ramona, given her maybe not given, but like expanding upon her previously like character flaw that she had, is that she doesn't she likes to run away from stuff, and like, this is a legit reason for all the exes to not really like her that much. And yeah, she spends the entire season searching for Scott, of course, and dealing with her past and resolving issues with her exes, which is a healthy and great thing to do, honestly. It's kind of a bummer that Scott is kind of a, well, he's not there for the most part of the anime, and he's like the damsel here. But if you look at it from another point of view, that's a subversion of expectations again, because like, he's supposed to be the male lead, but for the most part of the season, Ramona becomes the lead. Also, I think they've given cool new changes and additions to some background characters as well, like young Neil or Knives. Anyway, so is Scott being missing good or bad thing? I already touched upon that a little bit, but it's not really too bad. It gives room for Ramona to breathe and to explore her character and to explore other characters. I mean, kind of bad. It's kind of bait and switch, because the anime is called Scott Pilgrim, but also it's called Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and it could be counted like literally. He takes off and comes back only in the end. What I didn't majorly like, though, with all of that, is that they went the time travel route. And as much as I love time travel and shows like Doctor Who or films like Back to the Future, that's one of the few instances where I would rather they didn't go that route. I don't know. It's interesting for Scott to fight another version of himself who is against him, like this time from the future. Mega buff Scott from the future who went insane for the reason that's just not really there. He could have talked to Ramona, but he decided to exile himself for 10 years and just train up his muscles to beat up Scott from the past. I don't know, it's not resonating with me. It's contrived. It's kind of boring at this point with all the time travel stories out there already. And I don't know, it could have been a bit more creative. I don't know. Even like a new big bad, even more evil than Gideon, would be great, who actually kidnapped Scott. But it was a vegan robot, well, okay, Vegan Robot Beat was actually funny, but like the explanation for the time travel, that the robot just exists in all the times simultaneously. Wow, great. Don't care. But um apart from that, I think the resolution for all of all of this was pretty neat. They did a show about Scott Pilgrim, which is like, I don't know. Still, it's a better fourth wall break and acknowledgement of like meta jokes and stuff. It's still better than what Matrix 4 did, obviously, but it's still like it's all right, I guess. What I also liked is the one of the final dialogues that maybe final dialogue that Scott has with Knives about their situation. So in this timeline, they don't really even get to break up yet before Scott disappears. And I guess she like later she actually finds out that Scott cheated on her. But like she just, I guess, comes to terms with it off screen. But what is great after is that Scott and Knives have a conversation, and very up to date thing to say, like in 2023, is that I quote Scott on this one, freely quote Scott on this one, but he said something along the lines of, "Well, we shouldn't have dated in the first place. In the society, it's frowned upon to like for people like me, or I guess for people my age to date 17-year-olds." And yeah, that's true. Like, you might be surprised, but a lot of Twitter hates Scott Pilgrim because he is apparently a pedophile. Well, not really. The point of the original comic was that Scott is a bad person. He's just, well, he's not a monster, but he's just, well, he's a douche. But he grows through the story somewhat. And to know that this story is actually what ends up being, and like, I guess even a regression of the character sorts. They break up, so this canon what we are reading in the comics and watched in the movie, it ends up as unhappy marriage, I guess, or eventual breakup and insane mega buff Scott. And I don't know if that's really something that the OG fans would like to hear. It's conflicting. I'm rambling too much now. What I want to say is it's an unexpected spin-off that actually more suits the audience that already read the comics or watched the movie or even both. It's actually not for the audience that haven't like seen Scott Pilgrim yet and they feel like, what if I like get into Scott Pilgrim by watching this anime? No, don't do that. Read the comics or at least watch the movie first to understand the whole context, because you will be sitting there for 8 hours, not 8 hours, 4 hours, because yeah, 8 episodes, 30 minutes each. Yeah, you'll be sitting for 4 hours just not understanding anything that's going on. But for those who have already seen it, it's a great unexpected spin-off, or rather like a new direction for the series moving forward. It's interesting because they can now take these characters and this storyline, this timeline, I guess, now, and do anything they want with it for a number of seasons. Because if they did like a faithful one-to-one adaptation, they would only have as much room as the story has, right? I guess they just to adapt it and finish it. Maybe that would be also great. We'll never know now. But they have some stuff set up for season 2, I guess. I don't know if it's happening yet. But if it's happening, I will watch it. It's something to look forward to expect, I guess. And overall, I think I liked it. It got some getting used to, of course, and some of the moments that I would like to be I would love to see adapted, I'm not gonna see them now, but that's okay because I got some other cool stuff too. And there are some beautiful moments for real, and beautiful animation, like I said, and music, and acting, voice acting by the movie cast also is pretty good to hear their voices. So yeah, I don't know how to rate it. I'm not usually good at rating stuff. I guess I would give it like a 7 or 8, maybe even out of 10. I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you waiting for season 2? Do you want to see what's going to happen next? Did you like the time travel shenanigans they did? Either way, thank you for listening. My rambles and sort of spontaneous, unscripted review. And have a great time zone, everyone. And I take off.